Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jules. I am back to do another Freida McFadden reading vlog. I'm going to be reading 3 books in this vlog. The first book that I'm going to read that I'm starting today is her new release, The Intruder. This is Jess's Sleep When I'm Dead book club pick, and the discussion is Monday. Today is Thursday, and Gwen's readathon starts tomorrow. So I need to try and binge this book today, and then I'm going to put this vlog on pause for a few days while I do the readathon, and then I'll get back to it. But the other books that I'm going to be reading in it is Never Lie and The Teacher. I'll tell you about those when I get to reading those. But let me tell you what The Intruder is about. I'm going to be looking at my laptop. It says, Casey's cabin in the wilderness is not built for a hurricane. Her roof shakes, the lights flicker, and the tree outside her front door sways ominously in the wind. But she's a lot more worried about the girl she discovers lurking outside her kitchen window. She's young, she's alone, and she's covered in blood. The girl won't explain where she came from or loosen her grip on the knife in her right hand. And when Casey makes a disturbing discovery in the middle of the night, things take a turn for the worse. The girl has a dark secret, one she'll kill to keep. And if Casey gets too close to the truth, she may not live to see the morning. So this audio is only like 4 hours, so I'm hoping to burn through it today. I will come back when I have some more updates. Okay, hello. I'm coming in, fuzzing on my shirt, coming in with some updates while I'm scrapbooking. I think I'm about 50% through the book. I am only listening to this on Audible, so I really don't know because it doesn't tell you, which I hate. One of the things I cannot stand about Audible is that it does not tell you what percent you're at in the book. You just gotta guess. So, all right. So we are following 2 POVs. And in the one POV, we have Casey, I believe is her name. And she's the one that's at the cabin. The storm's coming. The guy, it must be like a landlord, I'm wondering. He comes over like before the storm, and she's trying to get him to like fix her roof because it's leaking, and she's afraid that it's like it might cave in or whatever. I'm like thinking, what kind of cabin is she staying in? But he's just giving me the creeps, right? He's like creepy, and he is just kind of like icky flirting with her, but then he's also like, oh, I can't fix it right now. I'll fix it later. If you need a place to stay, you can come stay at my place. No. She ain't gonna do that. No, sir. And he ends up getting a little handsy. And, you know, she has to put him in his place, which thankfully she knows self-defense. But, so we just kind of get introduction with that. And then she thinks she sees someone in the window. She's got a shed that's out back that the door keeps blowing open. So she's like, is somebody out there? Is somebody not out there? So she's kind of wigging out. It's late and she's like getting ready to chill for the night or whatever. And she hears a banging at the door, and she goes, and it happens to be like her neighbor down the street who seems nice enough, but is he really? Like, we don't know. And then it kind of flips pretty quick to another POV that just seems totally out of place, to this girl, Ella. And it's her at school and dealing with mean kids. And then, you know, obviously she goes home and she's got a not so great environment at home. She doesn't have a dad. She doesn't know who her dad is. Her mom hasn't told her, has never been in the picture. The mom's kind of a hot mess express, just doesn't even kind of care about her. She doesn't have food in the house, you know, locks her up, smokes a gazillion cigarettes in the house, like just not great. So we're bouncing back and forth this whole time. I haven't really learned much of anything besides the fact that Casey's getting ready to gear up for this storm that she may or may not survive at her house. And then we've got Ella at this school dealing with bullies, also dealing with her mom and getting in trouble for like stealing some food and everything. And there's a kid at the school who's kind of also been bullying her. And he ends up getting in a fight with somebody, and then Ella like intervenes a little bit, kind of like helps him out. And then you come to, so then they kind of talk, which they were assigned to work on a project together or whatever. And then they kind of talk and come to find out that he's not from a great home life either. And which is pretty typical for bullies. They're usually not, yeah, they're usually bullied. So then they bully. And so we just kind of go through all that with her. And then in Casey's POV, there's a girl that she finds out in the shed because she sees there's a light on in the shed, or she sees like a light in the shed and the door's kind of open. So she goes out there and she finds a young girl covered, you know, under a blanket or something in there. And she's got a knife in her hand and she's covered in blood, which the back of the book tells you that. So she invites her in because she's like, you're going to freeze out here. You need to come inside. You know, I've got food. And she says she's really hungry. And she hasn't really said her name yet, but the name on the knife is Eleanor. So I don't know if she's called her Ella or said that her name's Ella, but I don't think it's the same Ella's. I mean, it seems like it could be, but like the ages seem different. Like the Ella at school is in 8th grade and seems like a teenager. And this Ella that she found in her shed seems like she's like 12 or 13, or seeming like she's very like a younger. So I don't know. That's all I know. I'm enjoying it so far. Like nothing super exciting has happened, but like I said, I don't know if I think I'm about 50% through, but honestly, if I am 50% through, like not much has happened yet. A lot of kind of just like sad, disappointing things like for, you know, Ella. But anyway, so that's my updates. But I am eating spaghetti. I have some spaghetti. And I made, you guys, I saw this on I think I saw it on Instagram. I don't know. It is a Dr. Pepper eggnog float. Okay. If you like Dr. Pepper, it's literally like putting creamer. Like I know people have had Dr. Pepper with like creamers. Like I've done like vanilla creamer before in my Dr. Pepper, and it kind of just gives it that creamy, you know, Dr. Peppery float. But yeah, it's with eggnog. It's pretty good. If you like Dr. Pepper and you like eggnog, you should try it. Anyway, I did get a few pages done. I don't know if I had shown, I already put one of them in here. Here's one of my pages I did. It was my, oh, sorry. And then this is the other, for those of you who don't know, if you haven't seen, I had to tear apart my whole scrapbook and basically put it in these protective pages. So I will be doing a flip through at the end of the year. But here's the other page I did of that with my candy. And here's the little card that Gwen sent to all her Patreon. And then I did like washi tape back here. And this is part that was on the envelope. I love it. It turned out so cute. Oh, and then on the back side of it is where I started the spread for my mom's stuff. So it looks like this. So this is the card Gwen sent me, and so I got some flowers from a friend. So this is just like the flower stuff, and then this is the stuff that Jules from that package I got. It's so tiny, but she wrote a sweet note, and then all the stuff that came in it, kind of from the packaging, and then just some other stuff from the packaging of things that I've received. And then this background is actually the tissue paper from one of the flowers that got delivered. And then now I am ready to start my next pages. And I'm going to do a pocket, a purple pocket that matches this color. There is like a light purple in this. But yeah, I'm going to put my mom's card in here. And I've got the purple ribbon. And I've got the gift notes from people. I'm going to put like these together and put like a little ribbon thing on them. And then I'm going to make a pocket to put the cards down in. Okay, I'm going to finish eating and listening to this book, and I will probably come back with my final thoughts after I finish it. Okay, bye. Hello, friends. I'm back with some updates. Let me just give y'all a warning that my dog is chewing on a bone, and he ain't going to stop. So you're going to hear a lot of licking and chewing. It's one of those hooves that are filled with like stuff. So he's having a fantastic time. So I was going to give you guys a final update of The Intruder before I paused my vlog to start a different vlog that I have already done, and I didn't. So we've got one perspective with Casey and the girl she found in her house that was covered in blood with a knife and whatever. And this girl is a little kind of unhinged. You're kind of wondering what her reasons are for being at Casey's house. She found some stuff in her backpack that makes it look like she like specifically came to her house for a reason. So she's a little unsettled with that. So we're just kind of dealing with her, trying to keep her calm and comfortable and also not freak out thinking that the girl's there to harm her. And all this is happening while they're trying to wait out a storm that's happening. So there's no phone service. And so, yeah, it's kind of a little unsettling, but she's also trying to get her to like open up and talk about possibly what happened. And, she sees that maybe she's obviously running away from something, or that she is being abused or has been abused previously. She doesn't know from who or what. She's just trying to kind of get her to trust her and open up. And then we have the other POV with a girl we're going through her horrible life and the living condition she's in. There's, a hoarding situation, abusive situation, and just kind of the things leading up to her possibly having a trigger of some kind and something happening. In true Freida fashion, she has us thinking one thing, and then it is definitely not that thing. So there is a little twist that happens. But it's not one of my favorites. I don't feel like it was like, although the parts with the girl coming and having the knife and blood and all that is like creepy, and like we don't know what's going to happen with that, I don't feel like that was really like super thrilling, scary. And then the other POV is really just kind of sad and depressing and going through this girl and her living conditions and her lifestyle and everything. So I ended up settling on 3.5 stars. If I'm being honest, it's probably more of a 3-star, but yeah, definitely might be my least favorite of hers so far, minus the gift, but that was just a quick novella and I didn't really like that. So anyway, okay, so moving on, the next book I'm going to pick up is The Teacher. I heard some crazy things about this one. I'm sure there's a lot of varying reviews on this. So I'm going to read this from my laptop because this is dark and small and, the eyeballs, you guys. So this one says, Eve has a good life. She gets up each day, gets a kiss from her husband, Nate, and heads off to teach math at the local high school. All as it should be, except last year, Kasem High was rocked by a scandal involving a student-teacher affair with one student, Addie, at its center. But Eve knows there's far more to these ugly rumors than meets the eye. Addie can't be trusted. She lies, she hurts people, she destroys lives. At least that's what everyone says. But nobody knows the real Addie. Nobody knows the secrets that could destroy her. And Addie will do anything to keep it quiet. So we got a little bit of an unhinged student, it looks like. Anyway, I'm excited to start this one. I will come back when I have some initial thoughts on this for you. Okay, I'm only 70 pages in and I have thoughts. The mean girls in this book make me want to jump into this book and kick their butts. They are so awful. So awful. It infuriates me. So we obviously have two different POVs. We've got Addie, and then we've got Eve. Eve is married to Nate. They are both teachers. Eve and Nate's relationship looks perfect on the outside, but is not on the inside. So Nate is very handsome, and everybody thinks he's the hottie teacher. So Eve and Nate are not very intimate with each other. It seems like their relationship is like very structured. Like she can count down exactly how many kisses he gives a day, and they're gonna do X on this day, and it can only be on this day. So they're not having a lot of X. And then like the previous school year, he was like always gone a lot, working late, you know, supposedly like grading papers or doing after school activities or whatever. And so she's like hoping that's what it really is. So we have a new school year. They go in and they're not even eating lunch together. So apparently he had said that, you know, they would get sick of each other if they spend, you know, time at work together, you know, considering they're husband and wife and they live together, you know, and they work together. I'm like, no. I will tell you, if me and my husband worked at the same place, we having lunch together every day. Every day. And if that is too much for you, you are the wrong relationship. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, there's a new teacher that he's having lunch with, and she's literally at another table with another lady while this girl is like flirting with her husband. No. Anyway, one of the teachers from the previous year has been let go. There's all these rumors that something happened between him and Addie. Addie's like mortified to be at school because everybody's talking about her, and supposedly she had this relationship with this teacher. And she's saying that that's not what it is. That's not what happened. I feel bad for her. I feel like I shouldn't be feeling bad for Addie because I feel like with a Freida book, Addie's not going to be good. Okay. I'm feeling bad for her now, but I'm like, should I be feeling bad for her? But I do feel bad for her that kids are being mean to her. And there's a specific group. So apparently obviously we're going to find out what happened the year before to cause all these talking. But Addie's previous best friend, Hudson, is not talking to her. Like, he won't even look at her. But he's now hanging out with the mean kid group who's being mean to her. And this girl, y'all, I just want to knock her block off. Like, she is so mean. I'm like, if something happens to you, you kind of deserve it. So, yeah. I'm just frustrated with this I can't stand mean kids. I just can't, or mean people in general. I don't like mean people. Like, what is the point? Why? Just because you don't like somebody gives you a reason to treat them like crap? No. Anyway, Eve ends up running into the teacher that had gotten fired. And he wasn't really fired because there was like no proof of anything, but like all the parents apparently were like, I don't want my kids around that teacher. And so basically he was kind of like forced out. So Eve's at the store and she runs into him, and just, it's kind of awkward because Eve really liked him. He, like, as a coworker, she thought he was great with the kids and everything. And she doesn't believe that what's being said happened. So yeah, she just like is kind of checking in on him and seeing how he's doing, which obviously he says he's not doing good. He hasn't found work yet. And yeah, on the way, he's drunk. He's drunk because he's at home drinking his blues away. And then Eve mentions that Addie is in her class. She's also in her husband's class. And the husband's Mr. Hottie. So that's a little concerning. So Addie is in both of their classes. But on the way out, the teacher says, be careful of her. So I'm like I said, I don't know if I should be feeling bad for Addie. Anyway, yeah, so those are my initial thoughts. I will come back when I have more. I'm back. Y'all, this book is about to get unhinged, I think. So, I had dinner, I ran to the store and grabbed a couple things, and I've been listening, and everybody's doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, okay? Everybody's doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. I'm like, oh, that's bad. So Eve and Nate are married, and they're both doing shady stuff outside of the home they should not be doing, okay? And I was feeling bad for Addie because she's getting bullied for something that she says she didn't do. But now I'm like, did you not do it? Because now she's doing some stuff she shouldn't be doing, okay? And there was something else that she did that was bad. And I'm like, okay. Which explains why her friend Hudson is not talking to her. Y'all, the roller coaster's about to get off track. Okay? Dang. Anyway, I'm having a good time with it. I'm just like, all of these people are morally awful people. So, yeah. But, I mean, it's interesting. All right, I'm going to keep reading, and I will probably just come back with my final thought, unless something really exciting happens that I may or may not be able to tell you about, because, you know, it's a thriller and we don't like to give things away. But yeah, I'm going to keep reading, but I will probably check in with y'all tomorrow and let you know how it's going. Good morning. I finished this book last night. It did, in fact, go off the rails. It was a little unhinged. It was crazy at the end. These people are awful. Like, all of them. Like, I just can't feel bad for any of them. They was all doing shady stuff. But anyway, it was a good time. It was very entertaining. I'm going to settle on 4 stars for this one. Okay, the last book I'm picking up for this vlog is Never Lie. This one says, newlyweds Trisha and Ethan are searching for a house of their dreams. They think they found it when they visit the remote manor that once belonged to Dr. Adrian Hale, a renowned psychiatrist who vanished without a trace 3 years ago. But when a violent winter storm traps them at the estate, the house begins to lose its appeal. Stuck inside and growing restless, Trisha stumbles upon a collection of audio transcripts from Dr. Hale's sessions with patients. As Trisha listens to the cassette tape, she learns about the terrifying chain of events leading up to the doctor's mysterious disappearance. With each tape, another shocking piece of the puzzle falls into place. A web of lies slowly unravels. By the time Trisha reaches the final cassette, the one that reveals the entire horrifying story, it will be too late. Yeah, this one sounds good. Seems like a pretty short book, and I have the audio, so I may burn through this. But anyway, I will come back with some initial thoughts or halfway thoughts, some thoughts. I'll come back with thoughts. Okay, I'm coming in with some quick updates on this book. It's great, babe. So we're following Trisha and Ethan. Is that his name? Yeah. So we're following Trisha and Ethan, and they're going to look at this house that the realtor has said that she set up this open house for them. But when they show up, she's not there, and it's in the middle of like snow, and their car gets stuck. So they can see the house. This is kind of like out there in the middle of nowhere, but the car gets stuck, and they can see the house, so they have to walk up to the house. And there's lights on in the second floor, but not the main floor. And the doors, nobody's answering. So they look around and they find a spare key, and they go inside. Of course, they're where there's no service. So they literally are like, we're just going to stay here for the night. Like, what? Like, who stays in an empty house that you ain't supposed to be staying in? Anyway, creepy. But, Trisha ends up seeing a glass on the counter that looks like it's pretty like recent. She's like, I think someone's been here. And he's like, it must have been the realtor. Maybe she left or whatever. And she's like, no, she's not been here. And so they decide to stay. And they start snooping around. Trisha's more snoopy than Ethan. Ethan kind of is just like, yeah, there's food here. There's got to be food here. Like, why would there be food there? Because the house that they went to look at is the owner is a missing author / psychiatrist. So like but she's been missing for a very, very long time. So like, why would there be food in the house? So it just seems odd that he's just like, thinks there's stuff, or does he know that there's just like food in the house? And yeah, it's just weird. He's like, yeah, let's get some food and then we'll just stay the night. And he just seems very at home. And I'm like, I would not be at home. Trisha's very uneasy about it. Anyway, he literally goes up to take a shower. Like, what? And she's doing some snooping. She finds a secret room, and then she finds these cassette tapes, which are the recordings of this doctor and her patients. And then we have other chapters which are from the doctor's perspective. And honestly, I'm not sure I really like her. She kind of seems like she's entitled. But so we get some chapters from her perspective on just like her dealing with her patients and seeing her patients. And one of her patients gets a little obsessive, and he can't pay because he's a younger guy. And he can't pay because his parents refuse to pay for his therapy anymore, because obviously they say it's not working, so they're going to stop paying for it. But he's obviously obsessed with the doctor. Okay. So these are the chapters we're bouncing back and forth between, and Trisha is starting to play some of the tape recordings of the patients, and that's how we know that this patient was stalkery. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. So I'm like 125 pages in, so not quite halfway, but yeah, I'm having a good time with it. So I am getting ready to eat my noodles that I made and go watch Survivor. So I'm gonna take a little break from this, but I will be back when I have some more thoughts. Y'all, this book is so good. It is so unhinged. Y'all, my heart gets pumping when there is a stalkery, obsession-y type stuff going on. I'm like, absolutely not. Both of these POVs have me sucked in. So we're dealing with the creepy stuff with the husband and wife at this house. Again, who just stays at this house that they're supposed to look at? They stuck in the cold. But I mean, I guess if you have to, you have to. If you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're just staying at this house. Still really crazy. But Trisha, y'all, my dog's snoring really loud. It's so loud. I don't want to disturb him though, so we'll just have some background white noise, okay? So Trisha thinks she's still hearing things. Like when her husband is supposed to be in like a different area of the house, she's hearing stuff from another area of the house. She's also listening to these tapes, which are creeping her out, because one of Dr. Hale's patients is blackmailing her. She did something not good that he caught on tape when she didn't know it, and now he's blackmailing her. Y'all, I could never with the blackmail. First of all, don't do stuff that's shady that you could get in trouble for, or that somebody could hold over your head. But like blackmail 101, you do one thing, it's going to spiral. It's going to spiral into something bigger. That blackmail ball is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm like, and that's exactly what's happening. I'm like, oh, girl, you're screwed. You're screwed. So basically, Dr. Hale, I don't even know what's her name, Adrian. Adrian is the doctor. So she is trying to find a way out of this. And then the guy that she's seeing, her boyfriend, she ropes him into helping her do something with this stalkery guy who's blackmailing her, to find this evidence of stuff that's hanging over her. And they do something to him and it don't go right. And then it backfires. Okay, so now she's in deep. And what he really wants from her is not good. It's not good, you guys. I'm just like, oh no. She has dug herself in such a deep hole by even allowing him to blackmail her. Girl, take your punishment. No matter what happens, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. But, oh man, you guys, this book is so good. I think I have about 80 pages left. I'm going to try and burn through this sucker, but, oh, I'm just waiting for this twist. I'm just waiting for this twist to come in. I don't even know what I think right now. I think there's something going on in my mind that I think, there's something in the back of my mind that is thinking something about this patient and Trisha's husband, what that connection is. But I don't know if I'm right or not, but we'll see. Probably not. I don't try and figure this stuff out, you guys, because I'm just here for the ride. Okay. I might get the shock factor, but it's so good. I'll be back. Hello friends, I am back with my final thoughts on this book. So good. So good. I finished this yesterday. I haven't had time to come in here and do an update. So what I was thinking the connection was not it. I don't even know why I attempt to try and figure anything out on these, because I am never right. So I was looking at some of the reviews, and like some people were like, predictable, still entertaining, but predictable or whatever. And I was like, I didn't predict any of this. So I'm giving this one 5 stars. And this is probably one of my favorites by her. I have given a lot of hers 4 or 5 stars, but yeah, this is in the top now. This is like one of my top favorites by her. So definitely recommend, if you have not read this one of hers yet, check it out. So it looks like I have less than 10. I wrote down the ones that I have left that I want to read from her. My top ones that I want to read next is going to be Ward D, The Coworker, and The Perfect Son. So yeah, I am on a roll getting all of her backlist read, and that's very exciting. So let me know if you have read any of these Freida books or what your favorite Freida book is, and make sure to like this video, subscribe if you're not already, and until my next video, friends, be yourself, be awesome, be kind. Bye.